Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Legendary Leaders. Now, because we're in the middle of the holiday season, I want to take just a second to talk about your sales funnel. Now, if you've listened to any of the other episodes within the Legendary Leaders podcast, you know that one of the things we teach you is how to create a successful business. And part of having a successful business is having those 9 fundamental pillars, those pillars that exist in every successful business. And if you see any business failing out there, it's simply because one or more of those fundamental pillars have been destroyed or damaged to the point that they're not able to rectify it fast enough, right? That's why you see a lot of companies going bankrupt. Every time you see a company that's going out of business, it's because they failed in at least one of those 9 pillars, okay? And so one of the pillars is your sales funnel or your sales pillar, right? It's how you generate sales in your business. Now, I'm not talking about a click funnel, right? That's your sales and marketing funnel. That's how you advertise and pull individuals through, right? Your ideal audience, your ideal client, your ideal customer. That's how you pull them through. Your sales funnel is the exact technique that you use to sell. Now, if you're in a startup, probably what's happening is you're trying to figure out your sales funnel. Just like you're trying to figure out the tons of other things that you're trying to solve for that may work for your business. I always refer to it as you have this lock in front of you and you're trying to figure out the combination on the lock. And once you figure out the combination and the lock opens, your business is going to take off. But right now you're moving the dials on this lock and you're trying to spin it in all the different directions until you can get all the numbers lined up correctly and the lock will open. Well, one of the pieces on that lock, one of the dials, is your sales funnel. And so what I want to tell you is, if you're moving through right now, you're moving through your business and you're generating sales, okay, what a lot of people are trying to do right now at this point in the season is they're seeing other companies and they're seeing other businesses do different things to generate sales during the holidays. And people have a lot of cash right now. People are trying to find gifts. So inherently you're thinking, most likely, look, there's all this cash available. I want to make some money in my business. I want to put my business out there too. And I don't blame you for that. I mean, that's a very thoughtful, logical decision that you want to make. But what I want to challenge you on is this. The companies that you see out there that are making adjustments to the way in which they sell, or that they're running these special deals, or they're doing all of these different things, they can afford to do that. Now, I'm not talking about just financially, because they can financially. The thing that I'm talking about is that they're in a very different phase of business. They're in the mature phase, most likely. They're probably even in the evolution phase, where they have the ability to understand what their sales funnel looks like in that level of the business. And then they can make tweaks and adjustments just for this small period of time for a certain subset of items. It doesn't change their entire funnel of sales. It changes just a little tiny portion of what they're trying to do for the holidays. Now let's look at your business, for example. If you're a startup, which again, you most likely are, you don't have this foundation of business. You're still trying to figure out the foundation of business, and I get it. Okay? I've lived it. I know exactly what you're going through. You have this strong desire to generate revenue. You're trying to figure it all out. You're thinking, maybe if I make adjustments like these companies, I can generate additional revenue too. And what I would tell you is, if you're generating revenue right now and it's working, then I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you change your sales funnel to mimic these other larger companies, thinking that you may make more money. Now, might you? You might. But what I'm trying to get you to recognize is it's a gamble. It's a significant gamble. And if you're making money right now the way that you always make money, maybe you're running a little bit of a special, a certain percentage off, or you're offering free shipping during a period of time by a certain date so you can guarantee that it gets there, right? Or maybe you're even offering expedited shipping. Maybe you're doing some different things like that. Well, that's fine, right? That makes sense because you can afford to do that. Most likely, you should have sat down and looked at your finances and you figured out that that will work for you and your business. And that's fine. But what I'm really talking about is significant slashing of prices, offering 2 and 3 different items for free, all of these things that go together that you may not be able to afford because you may have to pay for those items that are free. Now, in my world and in my business for Legend specifically, I could offer some free online tools. I could offer some free, ebooks or some, a little bit of maybe group coaching for free, but I can't really offer one-on-one coaching for free because that's my time. And so if I take up all of my time offering free add-on one-on-one coaching, well, then I've lost time to be able to generate revenue on my time that people would normally pay me for. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just simply saying if I'm counting on my time being available to generate a set amount of revenue financially in my business, then I can't give that away for free. And that's what I'm talking about relative to your sales funnel. I know that you want to generate revenue. You have to. That's step number one in a startup. You have to generate cash flow. That's the first activity that you have to do. You have to sell. But what I want to caution you on today is I want you to realize the phase of business that you're in. I want you to remember that the 9 pillars have to be foundationally built in the startup mode, right? In the startup phase of your business. And then you're going to make tweaks and adjustments as you move into the growth phase and the mature phase and the evolution phase. You're going to make these adjustments. But you can't go in the startup phase where you're trying to figure it out and damage yourself financially, make wild sweeping changes to your sales funnel that is working, right? Or be making so many changes at once that you don't know what works, because then you'll never be able to replicate it. And then all in the effort to try to generate more money before the end of the year. I want you to be super smart. I don't want you to get caught up in the emotional side of, I've got to make this work. I've got to do this by the end of the year. Do not create timelines and goals that will cause you to damage your business. That's what I want to leave you with. You're not like the bigger companies. You're not there yet. You will be. You will be. I believe in you and you will be, but you're not there yet. So you cannot mimic everything that they do. Take a look at some of the things that they did whenever they were in the startup mode. What did they do? How did they do it? And then maybe mimic some of that. That's different. Okay? But also think about the things that you could give away or do as add-ons or things of that nature, and make sure that financially it makes sense for you. Don't go out and make bad decisions that you're going to have to pay for in January just to be able to make a few extra dollars in December. I want you to be smart, and ultimately what I want for you is a sustainable, long-lasting business. I do not want you to have a one-hit wonder, okay? You can't create this amazing sale for Christmas, sell through, and then never be able to generate any additional revenue again because you're not sure how to do it, or you've damaged your ability to do that, okay? That's my challenge for you today. As always, go and be legendary.